Hello children, did you all just see what I did? I blindfolded my eyes and I was trying to reach the board, but I could not do it. It was very difficult for me to walk and reach the board. Okay, during this pandemic, you all miss one place. Okay, and you know what is that? That is your school. Okay, this lesson is about a different kind of school. Okay, a different kind of school written by E.V. Lucas. Okay, I had heard a great deal about Miss Bean's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. When I arrived there was no one in sight. In sight meaning nobody, he could not see anybody. But a girl of about 12, only one person. He saw only one girl. She was around 12 years old. Her eyes were covered with a bandage and she was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. She stopped and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. Okay? So that girl whose eyes were covered was able to recognize that the author had come there, and one small boy was helping her to walk. So she asked him who was that. So and the small boy said, okay, there is a visitor to the school. Miss Bean was all that I had expected. Middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Okay, so now the author is describing Miss Bean, how she looks. She's middle-aged, that is, she's around about 40 years, about 40 years of age, full of authority. Okay, she is the principal of the school, yet kindly. She was very kind and understanding. The moment the author saw her, he could recognize that she was kind and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. And he is also describing her that she was plump, that is pleasantly fat. She was a little chubby. We say chubby. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. Okay, the author is asking her, how do you teach? We have heard this, that I've heard that this school is different. So what is it that makes your school different? How about the teaching methods? So the author is asking the principal, that is Miss Bean, many questions. No more than is needed, and she says, no more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. So Miss Bean says, they have to just know a few simple spellings. They have to know how to add, to subtract, to multiply, and also to write. And whenever we talk to them and whenever we read to them, they have to sit quietly and listen. Okay, that is more than enough. That is all we do in this school. The real aim, now she goes on to explain what is the real aim of the school. The real aim of the school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness. That is, what is thoughtfulness? Being kind to others, to think about others. Kindness to others and being responsible citizens. Look out of the window a minute, will you? So she asks the author to look out of the window. Just see out of the window and see. Tell me what you can see. I went to the window, which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Bean asked. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see two more with the same difficulty. And there's a girl with a crutch watching the others at play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple. Okay, the author is telling, he saw one girl. Okay, he met a girl, isn't it, before he came to see Miss Bean. He's telling about that girl who was held by another boy, and now he says he can see another girl with crutches. Okay, crutch is a support which people who limp, okay, whose leg is not proper, they use a crutch. Okay, and the author says, I felt very sad because she was hopeless. Okay, she didn't have any help. Miss Bean laughed. Oh no, she said. She is not really lame. This is only her lame day. Okay, lame day means the day on which the student acts as she was lame. Lame means without a leg, okay, proper leg. The others are not blind either. It's only their blind day, okay. So one day is lame day when the student has to act like he doesn't have a leg, proper leg. And then the other day is the blind day when some set of students are asked to close their eyes with a cloth and pretend to be blind. I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. This is a very important part of our system. Okay, now Miss Beam is explaining to the author as to why she is following the system. To make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. Okay, what is misfortune? That is unfortunate, that is bad luck. Okay, not all people are the same. Okay, so some do not have eyes, some do not have legs. There are different kinds of people who live in the world. So she says we make children understand that. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. Okay? So, what happens on the deaf day? They have to close their ears. They should pretend that they can't hear anything. One injured day, they have to just wear a bandage or something and come to school and pretend that they are injured. And the other one is dumb day. What is the dumb day? Dumb day is when the student is not allowed to talk at all. Okay? They have to keep their mouth shut for the whole day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely and they are on their honor not to pee. The bandage is put on overnight so they wake up blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both blind and the helpers. There is no misery about it, Miss Bean continued. Everyone is kind and that is really something of a game. Before the day is over though, even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. Okay, and she says the children, they don't feel bad or they don't feel sad for this. They in fact learn how to care for other people who are not as fortunate or who are not as lucky as them. The blind day is of course really the worst, but some of the children tell me that the dumb day is most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouth, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. Okay, so Miss Bean has asked the students, how do you feel? Okay, which you feel is the most difficult to do, thing to do. And some of them say it is the blind day because we have to put the bandage the previous day itself before we come to school. So that as soon as we wake up, we have to pretend to be, we become blind. Okay. But then the children say the dumb day is the most difficult because that is about self-control. They have to keep their mouth shut. They should not be tempted to talk. And then she says, come, let us go and see how they are feeling. You can go and ask the children directly. Miss Bean led me to one of the bandaged girls. Here's a gentleman come to talk to you, Miss Bean, and left us, said Miss Bean and left us, okay? So she introduced, saying that this gentleman has come to see her, and she went away. Don't you ever pee? I asked the girl. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating. But I had no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. You feel you're going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief to just sit down. Okay, what the girl is telling us. Oh God, I thought it will be difficult. I mean, I thought it won't be easy at all. But then it is very, very difficult. And I feel that every time somebody is coming to hit me or I'm going to fall off. So I feel very happy when I just sit down without doing anything. Okay, so that girl feels that it's better that just sits in one place and does nothing. Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. Okay, there is one helper assigned. Okay, the blind people need some help. So is that person kind to you? Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you'd try. Okay. So when the author asked her, she said, "Okay, not so helpful, but I'm more kind to them." She says, "Okay, she is more kind to them." And then it is